More and more, you see North Country towns rebuilding their downtowns around the arts. You have the Mill and the bookstore in Westport, the downtown artist cellar in Malone. New murals dot the streets of Ticonderoga and Glens Falls. Well, something similar is happening in Keeseville, and a ceramics studio is part of it. That's today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management of Raymond James, Glens Falls, offering financial planning and investing advice to clients for over 40 years. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Thursday, July 16th. First up, there are still air quality alerts due to smoke from the Canadian wildfires. In the North Country, there's a big range, moderate through the Adirondacks and the Champlain Valley, unhealthy for sensitive groups in St. Lawrence County, and very unhealthy in Watertown, Eastern Lake Ontario, and the Old Forge area. In those places, Governor Kathy Hochul is urging New Yorkers to stay inside.
If there's any way you can possibly stay indoors, please do not venture out. Shorter dog walking. Please keep the babies inside. Senior citizens, just hold on and stay home for another day and a half.
Officials say people with underlying respiratory conditions like asthma are at a higher risk. The governor says she's coordinating with hospitals around the state. The worst effects from the smoke are in Buffalo, Rochester, down to the southern tier. The DEC extended an air quality health advisory until midnight tonight. President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill makes a lot of changes to programs like SNAP. A new report finds one of those changes would put local taxpayers in New York on the hook for more than $160 million. Samuel King with the New York Public News Network reports that counties are hoping for a reprieve.
New York is one of the few states where counties administer SNAP, so that means they will bear the brunt of a change that shifts more of the cost for the food program away from Washington. Greene County Administrator Sean Groden says the change means $250,000 in his county alone, so that could make budgeting difficult in future years.
I got to pinpoint why I'm making draconian changes to programs or layoffs or hiring freezes or et cetera. All the options that I may have, we lay it on the table.
New York State Association of Counties Executive Director Stephen Aquario says the state could also face a $1 billion penalty beginning in 2027 because of error rates in SNAP benefits, another cost that could be borne by the counties.
We're trying to seek a delay in implementation of this massive change in this massive law that was passed 1 year ago. There's no reason why we can't get a 2-year delay.
The association sought to have the state pick up more of the costs during this year's legislative session, but that effort was unsuccessful. In Albany, I'm Samuel King for the New York Public News Network.
Governor Hochul says she has mixed feelings about making daylight savings time permanent. The New York Public News Network's Jimmy Vielkind reports it's a move that could put her at odds with a key constituency.
Who knew changing clocks could be political? The U.S. House just voted to make daylight savings time permanent, allowing for more daylight in evening hours during the winter. Governor Hochul told Fox 5's Good Day New York that she's still thinking about whether she supports that change.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I don't know. I got to think this out because I don't want it darker longer, but I also love waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's bright out.
One group that opposes the change, Orthodox Jews. They say the end of daylight savings time would push the start of morning prayers past 9 o'clock during winter, making it difficult to pray and make it to work. In Albany, I'm Jimmy Vielkind for the New York Public News Network.
Keeseville, just south of Plattsburgh, is holding its Summer Arts Festival this weekend. And there's also the launch of a new community ceramics studio. Anna Williams-Bergen has this North Country at Work story.
Kind of insane. That's how Molly Ward describes the leap of faith she's taking to start a community ceramics studio in Keeseville and renovate a historic building to do it.
There is an active mineral spring in the basement, which is charming in theory and poses some difficulties when it comes to moisture and like water in the basement, stuff that generally you don't want. So there have been some like big surprises in this renovation process.
Third Space Ceramics is still very much in process. Ward is opening the building to the public for the first time this weekend, and she hopes to give people a taste of the special energy that a community studio creates.
I could just like get a kiln and do ceramics on my own. I just don't think it would feel as fulfilling, and it would disconnect me from the community side of art, which I think is so important, especially locally.
For the last couple years, Ward managed a ceramics studio at the Strand in Plattsburgh. She says it gave her the experience and the confidence to go out on her own. Plus, as a ceramicist herself, it's practical.
Ceramics is prohibitively expensive on a small scale, so if somebody had to like buy their own kiln just to try it out, that would be really intense. And so the studio also offers that, where it's like shared infrastructure. We're kind of carrying the load together.
Ward is 30. She grew up in nearby Jay in the Adirondacks. And she says that doing something like this, going out on a limb, opening her own business, it would only be possible here in the North Country. She says that support from this tight-knit community means there's actually more opportunity here.
Maybe if I was in a big city, I'd have to be like hustling so much harder to start a business. The only way I'm able to like start this studio is because I have a whole network of people behind me and I have family support. And my dad and my fiance are doing most of the renovations on this building.
Ward makes ceramics, but she works on a pretty small scale. She's not pumping out tons of plates and mugs like a factory. It's artsy. She says it's not the kind of thing that makes you a ton of money, and she still needs her day job at a jewelry shop.
I can't imagine being an artist to the scale that like I could pay all my bills and then have a family and do all of that. So I think maybe it is being in the North Country where cost of living is a little bit more manageable and where I just like have so many connections where things seem to fall in place a lot easier.
The studio will be open to the public for the first time this Saturday during the Keeseville Community Arts Festival so that people can check it out and attend a free ceramics workshop.
It won't be like completely finished. It'll just be like put back together and like not ugly on the inside.
When things are finished, Ward's goal is to have a gathering space where people can find community through a shared hobby.
I think if I imagine it, like maybe it's 5 or 6 people sitting around working on their separate projects, chatting a little bit. Maybe somebody's playing nice music.
She's excited to spread her love of ceramics by teaching classes and running clay camps for kids. Starting this business is also about building the lifestyle she wants.
My goal is to be able to like have a more flexible life where I can have a family soon and like still be able to do all these things I love and still be able to teach.
Growing up in this area as an artsy kid, Ward says there weren't a ton of creative opportunities for her outside of school. She's hoping her studio can change that.
I feel really excited about like being able to offer something to a kid who maybe is like how I was as a kid, who like that's what I wanted to do. That's like what I was excited about.
Ward says that, having grown up here, she's especially excited to make space for people in the art world she cares so much about. For North Country Public Radio's North Country at Work project, I'm Anna Williams-Bergen in Keeseville.
You can check out Third Space Pottery at the Keeseville Community Arts Festival this Saturday. The studio will be open for tours and a free ceramics workshop. There are lots more activities, workshops, and musical performances at the festival to check out around town. This interview was recorded at a public collection event in Keeseville. It's part of North Country at Work's Next Generation project, which highlights stories from the region's young workers. If you have a story in mind, we would love to hear what it is. Just text the word NEXT to 315-978-6277. Again, text the word NEXT to 315-978-6277. 6277. You can also just old-fashioned email us at work@ncpr.org. We have more news all the time at ncpr.org, our website. Music today by I Am Snow Angel of Lake Placid and Oscar Sarmiento of Potsdam. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.